Let's give this a roll. And thanks for your patience. Let me just start real quick with a review. Another warmer and highly variable precip week for most of us. On the left-hand side here, you can see departures for the week range from 2 to about 4 or 5 degrees Fahrenheit above normal. On the right-hand side with our precip totals, for the week, highly variable once again. Spotty. Northern parts of the state got the most rain. You can see large areas of 1 to 2+ inches. Also across the southeastern lower as well. But also note in between those two areas that there was a large area of central into southwestern lower Michigan where precip was much less. And in some cases, no precip for the week. And dryness is becoming an increasing issue and concern in that part of the state. Just some soil moisture and some related data here. But what we saw during the last week was general a drying out in southwestern to west central lower Michigan. And we can see that a little bit on the vegetation drought index here on the right, or upper right. And very, very wet and lush conditions to the northern part of lower Michigan and central and eastern upper Michigan. But again, the concern right now is the drying area in the southwest part of lower Michigan. The lower or in the middle part of our screen here, we have the most recent drought monitor. And what we see is basically some improvement in areas of east central lower Michigan, which has been a long-term issue. But things are getting a little bit worse to the west of that from basically west central southward down towards the Indiana border. Our degree day totals here for the season, base 50 beginning at the beginning of March, range from about 700 in the coolest areas of northern upper Michigan to 1500 in the far south. And on the right-hand side here, these are departures from normal, and reds are all surpluses of degree days, blues are deficits. We see a little bit of deficit in the northern Upper Peninsula, but most of the state here is ahead of normal. And those degree days surpluses translate to several days to more than a week ahead of normal. And that's especially true across southern lower Michigan. On our weather map this morning here, we have an area of low pressure just exiting the state into Lake Huron, and that's trailing a cold front which went through the state yesterday and overnight and still is right now. Off to our west, the blue H out there is an area of Canadian high pressure and is going to bring a significant change, or already has, in much of the state for the next 1 to 2 days and dominate our weather with cooler, much less humid conditions here today. Our current weather map here on the left-hand side here still shows some scattered showers left with that low pressure system, northeastern lower and eastern upper, a couple of sprinkles down in the far southeast. Those will gradually, though, move out of the state here over the next couple of months, or next couple of hours. Let's go different time scale. Notice also the wind shift around to the west, north, and northwest, and it'll be a breezy day with gradually decreasing clouds, especially here this afternoon as that high pressure moves in. On the right-hand side here, these are precipitation totals from the weather system that's just gone through here that were not in the previous totals, but you can see some very heavy rains fell once again in northern lower Michigan. Several areas here, several counties with 2 to 4 or even more inches. There were some isolated, very heavy totals across the south, but as we've seen here over the last several weeks, the rainfall was very spotty. Most areas got less than a quarter of an inch in the southern part of lower Michigan. Some areas were dry, including here locally in East Lansing. But again, it depended on where you were. And some areas got heavy rain, others got very little. So by tomorrow, high pressure controls our weather for another 24 to 48 hours. And after a dry day later today and tomorrow, we will see the next weather system approach from our west. And you can see that on the map here out in the Dakotas. That's the next significant system and chance for precip. That'll be here overnight Friday and into Saturday. And here's our map for 8 p.m. Friday. So we will start to see the chance for some showers and thunder showers in the western Upper Peninsula as early as tomorrow evening, and then gradually spread south and eastward across the state on the day Saturday. Here's the map on Saturday. And once again, you can see the weather system approaching from the west. Saturdays for most of the state is our best chance for rain, probably in the upcoming week. We'll be looking generally at amounts from quarter to half an inch, but like before, there will be some areas that get less than that, and this isn't going to be a uniform, widespread type of rain, but it's certainly the highest chance of rain that we have. After that, weather system moves off to the east on late Saturday and Sunday. We're looking at dry conditions lasting at least into Monday. And then the next chance for precip after that, probably by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. We also should see a warming trend after today and tomorrow. High temperatures only from the upper 60s north to the 70s over most of the state, gradually warming back into the 80s by early next week. And we may see 90 once again by the middle of next week for high temperatures. Low temperatures tonight will be the coolest night here of the week, upper 40s to mid 50s across most areas. And then those temperatures will warm into the 50s and 60s here by early next week. So more summer-like as we move into next week. Precip totals for the week ranging from less than half an inch in the northern lower, and that's a change, to half to 1 inch or a little bit better than that across the southern lower and across portions of the upper peninsula. But general, those totals are fairly close to normal for the season. Most of the precipitation you see here will be what falls on Saturday, and a little bit then on the middle of next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Potential evapotranspiration and water demand here will be pretty close to maybe a little bit, a tad above normal, averaging about 1700ths to 1900ths per day. So not as much as we've had recently, but still at least normal for this time of the year. And it is, notice that climatologically when we see our greatest demand during the course of the year. Finally, then looking into the medium range, our upper air pattern here, generally west to east across North America, with a little bit of a broad ridge across the northern U.S. And that's a big factor for us. The storm track will continue mostly across the northern tier of states and southern Canada. But it does also mean that we should see a continuation of above normal or warmer than normal mean temperatures. That's true for both the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day timeframes. It also means probably more frequent than normal chances for precipitation. And so the outlook does call for above normal or wetter than normal conditions as well. So warmer and wetter is still the direction we're looking at here for the last week in July and probably into the first few days of August. And with that, I will wrap up and again apologize for all the techno problems here.